Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about some easy zero waste tips for you guys who are teenagers or even just still living at home, not earning your own money yet, and basically being reliant and dependent on your parents. I just first want to say that this is amazing that so many really young people are interested in this lifestyle, and I am so grateful because you guys are the future. I'm not obviously that old, but changing a generation who are much younger than me is incredibly exciting because, as I said, you are the future and I want to be able to help you as much as possible. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and any more tips that you guys have, please put them in the comment section below, or any more questions, please feel free to ask again in the section below. So let's just get straight into the video. The first one is to actually go grocery shopping with your parents, actually engage in the things that they are wasteful with and help them in a non-superior and patronizing way, because you have to remember that they are your parents and they are providing for you. But if you do as much research as you possibly can into what bulk stores are actually available to you, maybe you could even look into how to make your own cotton bags or your own bags out of old t-shirts or stuff like that. Do the legwork for them so that it's not a big issue or it's not a big problem or a big deal if you go with them and you kind of guide them into making just some slightly better choices. You have to remember, if you want people to change, you have to make their lives easy and you have to show them why it's actually better. And in some instances, in bulk buying, it's actually more economical to buy exactly what you need rather than buying a huge section of something that is too much. You don't need it, you can't really afford to buy the whole thing. So definitely go with them one time grocery shopping and do the research for them, find out what you can get unpackaged and help them on your sort of combined journey. Number 2 is to start thrifting all of your clothes. Instead of going out and buying first hand and engaging in that linear economy, try thrifting everything. If you don't know who Conan Gray is, then you should definitely go and check him out, because he has a wonderful channel where he talks about thrifting a lot. And also Bryce and Haley is another wonderful channel that they talk about thrifting a lot. And again, Kristen Leo, Freya Haley. I'll put all of these Instagrams and their YouTube channels below. They talk a lot about thrifting and they are very cool, very young, wonderful, inspirations to make sure that you're trying to buy secondhand stuff, because often it's actually so much cooler and you're able to really create for yourself a really unique style. So that's definitely something I would go for. Number 3 is to use pencils, refillable pens, and stitch notebooks. These are something that are far more environmentally friendly, especially if you're still at school. You don't want to buy stuff that's wire bound or has a plastic front or anything like that. If you can get your hands on that, especially if you're in the UK, Muji do a really wonderful stitched and recycled paperback kind of notebook. Those are wonderful because they can be completely recycled, and again, refillable pens so that you're not buying those single-use plastics and throwing them away, and pencils that are not in plastic, the ones that you can just sharpen, are so much better. So definitely opt for those in terms of your school materials. Number 4 is to start talking to your parents about the stuff that you're learning, but don't bring it up in an aggressive way or kind of like, you should be doing this. Bring it up in a way to say, oh, at school I learned this today, or actually I've been reading this really interesting article about climate change and what we can do with single-use plastics and how it's affecting, animals in the South Pacific and stuff like that. If you bring it up in a way of like, oh, look what I've learned, then you're teaching them just by sharing some knowledge without being any kind of preachy, or definitely how I was at the beginning, just trying to engage in a really non-confrontational way, in a really calm way, just to try and elicit some kind of response, some positive response from them. And the last one, number 5, is to the best of your ability, whilst you're out and not in the house, try and not use any single-use plastics or just disposable items in general. It's not just plastic that's obviously not necessarily very environmentally friendly. It's all single-use items that are built just to be used once and then disposed of. Try and carry a water bottle with you, or say no to straws. Even get a utensil from your kitchen to take out with you. You don't need to go out and buy any of these kind of things. Or if you have an old jar that you had pasta sauce in or something like that, you can use that as a water bottle if you don't have a water bottle. You can take a handkerchief with you instead of using any tissues in any circumstances. Just try and avoid those whilst you're out. I know it's really hard when you're still living at home to try and change other people's behavior, but also ensure that you personally are just going to be able to be zero waste. But all you can do is your best. Keep doing your research, keep reading things, keep trying to experiment with maybe even making your own toothpaste or stuff like that. But also don't get disheartened if your parents are not really up with this lifestyle or don't really understand why it's important to look at these things. Remember, they're a lot older than you and they have been learning all of these things for a much longer time, so it's much harder to unlearn things when you're older. Also, you know, they are, again, your parents and they do understand a lot about life, so I think it's important to be cautious, be helpful, and try and make it a really positive experience, and don't try and patronize them, because that certainly doesn't work well. I know that for sure. I hope you liked this video. I hope it was useful. I will come up with another one for another 5 tips for teens living at home. But for now, I hope that's enough. And thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up and I will see you guys next time. Bye.